Okay, there is a reason why I do look so horrible in this video, and I should have no. So I'll get to questions, and forgive me if I'm missing any questions. I really do feel like I'm missing a lot of questions because I only have two here. Emily asked, what is the weather like where you're at? Right now, it's in the high 70s, low 80s, but I get cold all the time, and everybody is still wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And of course, I live in the desert, and so it's always hot here, and I rarely ever see snow. Stacy, I'm so jealous that you had snow. Oh my gosh. To see snow, we have to go to the mountains to see snow here in New Mexico. Um, and Stacy, the whole thing with the doctors and the anxiety and the cardiologist telling you to suck it up. I mean, okay, one of the best advice I ever got from a doctor was she was a geneticist, and this was in the very beginning. Everybody was telling me it was all in my head. And the very best advice I ever got from a doctor was to, when another doctor tells you that, to look at them in the face and say bullshit. And I know it's not a lovely thing to say, but one time, this one doctor was just telling me that it was a conversion disorder and that I was crazy and that I needed to be hospitalized into, like, because a crazy ward or whatever. And I just sat there and I listened to him with my arms crossed and let him talk and talk and talk. And then after he got done, I said, okay, it's my turn to talk. And I told him off. And at the end, I told him what that doctor told me to say. And he wasn't very happy. And I left the hospital against the doctor's advisory because I was hospitalized there. Lauren, it is so good to see you back on the channel, even though it wasn't for very long. And I know exactly what you mean by having a lot of emotional troubles. And some days, like I said in the beginning, are a total waste of makeup. And other days, this is what you just gotta do. You just gotta grab a pillow and scream into it like, you know what I mean, girl? Just like let the stress loose. And I got some really good advice because I've been dealing a lot with that too. And I was told to get a notebook and write down anything positive in your life, anything positive that comes your way. And before you know it, just like, even if it takes a couple minutes or a couple days to write it all down, and you won't believe the pages after page of positive stuff you will get. And just when you're thinking of something negative, just you know, just go back to that positive list and look at all the positives that you have in your life. And I'm so sorry you're going through that because I'm going through that right now too. And sometimes you do just have to stick your face in a pillow and scream and let it all out. And some days you do just have to be mad at the world and be a grump. You know what I mean? So that's not very good advice, but I wish I had better advice for you. And I'm keeping you in my prayers, and get better so I can see you more on Teen Potsies. I enjoy your videos, and scream in a pillow. So because there weren't very many questions I could answer, I'm going to answer a question that was asked in the past, which is, what medications are you on? And I'm going to try and do it a little quick because I'm on 14 different medications. Okay, the first one would be potassium, and the second one would be Klonopin, 2 milligrams. Oh, clonazepam, which is the generic form, and that's mixed with doxepin, 1 milligram, and that's at night to help my insomnia. Best thing ever for my insomnia, ever. That was, I put on tons of medications for insomnia, and that was the best thing ever. Omeprazole, which I believe is for my stomach, and I take that in the morning. I have Florinef, and I take this twice a day. That helps so much. I'm on lorazepam, which is for when I take that when I have seizures. Curcumin, that's to help my medication absorb into my system because my absorption isn't very good. Pyridoglycine, 60 milligrams, and I believe this is Reglan. And that's also for my stomach. Metoclopramide. Oh, this is the Reglan. This is the Reglan. Sorry, guys. And this would be Mestinon. That's for my nervous system. Thermotabs. This is to help advance the Florinef. It's basically just salt. Cymbalta, which is an antidepressant and also helps relieve nerve pain. Hydrocodone liquid because I have lots of pain. And this is Zofran. And they all have to be, if it's not liquid, they all have to be crushed up and put through my feeding tube through this because I can't swallow pills. And last but not least, I have my octreotide, which is an injection, which is this, and I'm actually going to show you how I inject it, and with this needle, and I hope you guys don't get too grossed out. I also forgot to mention I'm on Keppra for epilepsy, and okay, so here is the octreotide, and excuse me, burping on camera, oh my gosh, that is so rude. Okay, I'm just gonna draw it up. Get that bubble out of there. I'm going to draw it up. Now I have two bubbles, which is a major pain. Okay, get the bubbles out because bubbles bad. Okay, now that that's drawn up, here's the needle. I have to get alcohol wipe. Wipe the area off in which I'm going to do it. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Gosh, this is like the worst video I've ever made. I look horrible, the camera's shaking, I'm burping on camera, oh my gosh. I'm cussing, I'm screaming into pillows, oh my gosh. Okay. This stuff burns like heck. Not because the needle. I mean, the needle's real tiny, but it's the medication itself that burns because it has to go into fatty tissue. I don't really have fatty tissue, so it goes into my muscle, which makes it burn really bad. Here I go. I should mention that the octreotide is for vasoconstriction to help my blood pressure go up, and you can see that the needle is in now. And I also forgot to mention, once the needle is in, you have to draw back to make sure you don't get blood, because if you get blood, then that means you hit a vein and you have to re-poke yourself. And I'm done. Take the needle out, and I'm done. And I have to do that once to 3 times a day. My question is, how do you help your family understand when you're not feeling well and they just don't get it and they want you to do stuff but you feel awful? How do you explain to them? How do you help them understand?